Prelate, you. Sorry, mate. Mm. Not even sure what you did this time, Prelate. I mean, if you'd stop damn changing names, which is annoying. I mean, I'm so close to monetization at this point. Valentine, knock it off! James PS4, turn on the news. Why? Is there something on the news I should know about? Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan arrests charged with two Russian general killed in car blast just outside Moscow. Trump's executive order on voting blocked by federal judge. Immigration is Trump's strongest issue, but many say he's gone too far. George Santos to be sentenced and real cost of Doge cuts. Nothing particularly interesting on the news. It's pretty normal. The news will get views. Prelate, you can ignore me, but I'm for real, dude. I don't even remember what you're talking about, Prelate. I really don't. Okay, I'm kind of pushing this rather hard right now. Um, these things tend to get me to drink more fluid, so I have a jug of my bitter melon gourd steep because of my diabetes. And I'm having a crappy day, quite literally. Um, no matter how much I change the litter, the cats won't stop crapping in weird places. But Megatron, bro, touch grass, bro. What does that mean? Yeah, Prelate, stop changing names. Levi Scott, shout out. Pike, if you have to tell me that Grindr is a gay dating site, then you obviously didn't meet me there. Prelate, you know what my original name? Was it Corty? I forget. Megatron, so how's your day going? Well, it's kind of just started, and I have a 12 or 11-hour shift today. Ugh. So much to do and nowhere to go. Megatron, so how or Pike? You remember me, Rich? You were my first. No, I don't remember you, Pike. Here's the thing, Pike. If we were in a gay relationship, one, I don't remember it, and two, how are you still able to walk? I mean, I'm kind of a large man in more ways than one. Prelate. Yes, you're right. Okay. So, again, Prelate, one, stop changing names. It pisses me off. And two, just stop being weird. Okay, I think Pike needs a 5-minute timeout for being a liar. There you go. You're welcome, Pike. You earned your timeout. Prelit, and you know I'm in most of your live streams, bro. I was also Rusty Dog. Yeah, I remember that. TV numero ut nurofnunch is pro HR. You know, someone told me if I wanted to live to be 40, I needed to change my lifestyle. That was last week. I'm 45. Tell hi to DVS. Megatron, bro, you seem so exhausted, bro. What's going on? Everything all right? Look, dude, I have a lot of problems, and they're not getting better. And one of the things that, I mean, there is some possibility that YouTube is going to fill in the gap to stabilize my life there, but I'm going to get worse before I get better in that regard. I mean, there will be a point where it's like, okay, I'm just going to go to sleep and not wake up for, 20 hours. And that will be my body naturally healing. I might not be able to do live streams because I'll have to keep running to the restroom. But if that does happen, if we can break the depression, then, I'll start losing weight and I'll start feeling better. Prevalent. Being weird is not the problem. I'm sorry for being rude in the last stream, dude, even if you don't remember. You weren't the only rude person in the last stream. Allah! Hi! Prelit, I'm weird, so I can't change that, but I can change being rude. Yeah. Good idea. Nikomotorf. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Not in Russia anymore. In Russia once had many tanks, now not so much. Megatron is going to be alright, bro. Things get better. Talk to us, we need more live. Megatron, I've been dealing with this since I was 10 years old. Okay, my life has been hell, and people are basically telling me to suck it up, Buttercup. There's a subscriber. I guess he's still a subscriber. He stopped commenting so much, went by Fade, who's like, you just need to exhaust yourself. It's like you have no idea what my daily routine is. There's a Pavlovian idea that human beings are just machines. But we are very complicated machines, which is what Pavlov doesn't understand. So, oh no, Skinner. My bad, Skinner. Skinner created the Skinner's box, which was stick a pigeon in a box with a bunch of weird stuff for it to play with, and it plays with stuff, and if you reward it for playing with certain stuff, it'll keep doing those things. And yes, most of us humans follow that. Hi, guy. Where is Quarty? He's going by Prelit now. So it's like, this is how people get into trouble because, like, I knew a guy who he'd sit there and throw temper tantrums when he didn't get his way. And to a certain extent, this worked. But, I mean, I knew him for, like, 19 years, and after 19 years, it finally got to, I don't care how much you cry, the answer is no. And if you keep crying, I'm going to stop hanging out with you. So I stopped hanging out with him. He got all of our mutual friends to hate me for it, and I haven't spoken to them in more than 10 years. But I don't regret not giving in to him, because if I gave in to him that day, I would have had to have given in to him the next day, and then the next. It's just, at some point, you just have to put your foot down. Megatron, I think you gotta engage in doing what you love doing more. Maybe do some live gaming stream. Megatron, why would you think what I love is gaming? That's a weird thing to think. Guy, Prelit the Goat. No. VIP Action Group. Hi, Richard. What's up, VIP? The Joker. Can you say hi to my brother? Grr. Okay, I don't tolerate racial slurs. Guy, can you IRL stream for us one day, like a at work or something? There's no internet at my work. Okay, the building is made of stone and it blocks the signal, so I can't do that. At my other work, which isn't giving me any hours right now, which is one of the causes of my depression, like I'm reliant on my phone, so I have limited amounts of streaming, and I don't have the infrastructure to stream. Eventually, I could get there. I mean, I've got certain things like a table to put my stuff on, and I'd have to buy a bracket to hold my phone or something like that. But um, one of the problems with that is the sound quality might be very poor. But like, what would I game? What would I game? I don't game. I don't like gaming, so it's like that's just torture. VIP deleted their message. Zahori Club, are you a lizard? Megatron, you hate your job? No, I don't hate my job. I hate the fact that they're not giving me hours. And look, I actually like what I do. I guard critical infrastructure, and that's very important. So I like doing it. But I'm not doing it. I mean, ideally, I'd be doing it 5 days a week. But they're not even giving me one day a week because there's a clerical error again. And that's just going to keep happening. VM. Prelude is Rusty Dog Mom. Yes, he is. VP, Auction Group. What about photography tips and tricks? So you want to see me work on Photoshop? I mean, look, guys. I used to draw comics. Um, they're ugly comics. So, I was drawing them because they helped with my nerve damage. I don't know if I can get you a good example here. This is one of my comics here. So one thing I could do if I wanted to buy a webcam is I could draw comics online, which would mean I can't interact as much with you guys. I can't read as many comments, and then like my comics just aren't very good, you know. And if you look at this thing, you'll note like 2019, 365 comics, 2020, 283, 2021, 268. Okay, so I started dropping off, but even then, like, I don't think there's a single actual comic in 2020. It's just jokes that I wrote or that I stole. Some of them I wrote, some of them I stole. What's the best time to see a dentist? 2:30. Terrible pun. Ladies, if he can't appreciate your fruit jokes, you need to let him go. Or let the man go. Are people born with photographic memories or does it have to develop? That's a really old joke. So I put these jokes here to have something to put up there, but, you know, that's kind of the thing. Is like, yes, I'd like to get back into comics, but right now I've got like a $400 barrier. I'd have to spend $400, and you know, I have other things to spend my money on. Plus, my cats are tearing up the house. And I tell you, I talked to a cat rescue, or I emailed a cat rescue the other day, like 3 days ago now, and they're just not getting back to me. Cat rescues are all full. Oh. VM, what was your favorite class in college? That's a tough one. I mean, hmm. I really enjoyed a lot of psychology classes. Um, Early theater classes I liked more, but I learned to just hate theater because of the attitude I got from being. One of the things I learned about theater majors is they tend to be really stupid. I mean, they're just freaking brain dead. And you're like, how can you be an artist? And then the professors weren't all that smart either. So it's like the class that probably brought me the most joy also brought me the most pain. So it's really hard for me to balance that out. But I took a lot of classes in college. I mean, I had 120 units when I transferred to the university. Vic Chavez, emotional damage. Megatron, you work full time. Oh, that's got to be illegal. What? Or you work full week. I have two jobs. One I guard critical infrastructure. The other I guard a historic building. They're two different jobs. And no, I don't work a full week. That's the problem. And look, when you guard critical infrastructure, you're pretty much watching something that doesn't move, and there's nobody there. And I mean, this is wonderful for me because I get to pull out my laptop, I get to write, I get to watch the movies I review on Random Street Theater, and if I bring my power stations or powers available to me, I can also render videos. So I can do a lot of work when I'm at work, work I would otherwise just be doing at home. So I love that job. The problem is, though, that it doesn't matter if you love that job if they won't give you the hours. Vic Chavez, my most liked comment has 1253000 likes. Okay. I guys laughing. Max Power, become a ClickBank affiliate and post hop links. I don't know what that means. Grasshopper Plus, you need to get more hours at work. Yes, I do. Cal Prince, I dreamt about you last night and woke up to a stream, but you need update jokes. Do you drink coffee in the morning? I used to. I mean, you guys could probably hear my voice is a little on the hoarse side because I've been doing these streams because I'm right up to monetization, and I need to clobber that monetization tab. You need to pierce that. I actually made, according to analytics, I made $100 in YouTube on this channel this month, which is really good, but not enough to make a difference. Cal Prince, I dream about you. I read that one. Zohiri Club, what is the difference between college and university? Okay, when I say college, I actually mean community college. It's cheaper. Um, it's not as difficult, and the vibe is basically different. I mean, in community college, I paid by the unit, and you show up there, and like my community college actually had a very wide range of classes. It was an excellent. Well, when I went to university, which was same city, almost the same name, well, I paid whether I was full or part time, and I paid a lot more money. Okay, so the teachers there were a lot more expensive to hire, and they were all at the end of their tenure. So it's like, we don't care. We're going to be as lazy as possible. So college and university, a university is technically of higher prestige than a college and offers more services. But you have to understand that it's like calling something a tavern versus an inn. These are archaic terms. They don't make a difference anymore. Like, I believe the difference between a tavern and an inn, and I'm not dead sure which one, but like an inn offered you lodging and stables, whereas a tavern normally brewed its own beer. And when taverns and inns first became a thing, which I think was, in the Roman Empire, brewing your own beer was important. I mean, remember, there was a time in human history, in the Old West particularly, where you would bring a barrel of beer to a stream and you would let it cool in the stream so you'd have cold beer. This was something people actually like. You went on hikes with a barrel of beer so you could drink cold beer. That was what a delicacy it was to the poor, or middle class anyway. NZ Gaming. How? NZ Gaming, what is your raider in your back? Calprint. Brew beer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. You want to be a dick? You don't need to be here. No one's forcing you to be here. And this is a painting that I false colored. That used to be at the hotel I worked at. Baba Ganoush. Good day, Richard. Sachintha Udamang. What was an awesome explanation? Thank you. You mean university and college or inn versus tavern? I looked that up because my next door neighbor owns a tavern, or what he calls a tavern. Although I don't know if it's still there. I mean, he's having money problems, I can tell that. But who isn't right now, you know what I mean? I mean, the richest man on earth just got, like, slammed in the rump by the economy. VM, what did your parents do for work? My mother was a pharmacist and a teacher, and my father was a analyst for disability. Skiminthu Mudamang, I mean regarding beer. Oh, yeah. Well, I saw a documentary once. There was this strange case where these people, these men, they worked at a brewery, and they went and they got a barrel, not a huge barrel, like a growler barrel, I think, of beer, and they took it up to this mountain stream and they put it in the cold water. And when they drank the beer, they all died. And what they had found was that a cottonmouth snake had crawled into the barrel before the beer was put in there. But it's impossible for the venom of the cottonmouth to kill you if you drink it. So what happened was the cottonmouth had eaten several dead rats, and the rats had ingested poison because, it's a brewery, there's hops around you and barley and things, so you have to get rid of the rats. So this cottonmouth had eaten these dead rats, crawled in the barrel, and the rat poison had gotten into the beer, and that's what killed the man. So that's why I know that thing about beer. Derek Jurgen, you look tired, bro. You have no idea. Are you okay? No, I am not okay. It's a funny question when you think, like, are you okay? Like, what are you gonna do? You know, I mean, like Derek, I appreciate your concern, man. But I mean, there's do understand there's nothing you could do. You know, you're here. You're doing all you're capable of doing to make this better. You're giving me more watch hours. I will breach that monetization threshold, and then this channel will make money. Calprince, I enjoy your stream a lot, Rich. It's like therapy for me. I appreciate all that you do, sir. Thank you. Megatron, what do you call an angry carrot? A steamed vegetable. Mm. Skimintha, holy cow, what a tragedy. I wonder how they felt after drinking poisonous beer, dang. Well, there was one survivor who didn't drink the beer, and he was like, everyone was pissing themselves, and they were laughing. Like, I just have to ask myself, like, was that a clear depiction? I mean, do we know the actual size of the barrel they used? Because the one that was there looked like a growler-sized barrel, which doesn't seem to be enough beer for that many people, but maybe they didn't drink a lot of beer. Oh, back. Sitting in this position is awkward for me. Scamantha, just call me Sachi. Okay. Jared Tube, hello, bro. How are you doing? I've been better. Trying to get my bitter melon gourd in. Tristan Garwood, I'm pushing 32 hours awake. Get some sleep, dingus. Don't watch this. What's wrong with you? Go sleep. You want to kill yourself? Metalo Wi-Fi, ask if you're doing okay is a large form of support, even though he cannot physically do anything, his soul cares enough to ask. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things about our society. Most of the time, people say, how are you doing? And they don't actually want to know. Who is this says, any cannibals here? Do you want to be eaten? They must have been devoured. Sachi, I like the fact that you take time to read messages slowly, unlike talkative parrots on many streams. Look, dude, I actually have nerve damage. Makes it difficult for me to read, even though I read all the time. So, I mean, it's like one of the things, if something isn't clearly written to me, particularly if it's on the internet, I have a program that reads it for me in order to give me better comprehension. Modular Wi-Fi. Why not get something a little more comfy? Uh, it's not the chair that's the problem, it's the setup. What I need to do is I need to get a different arm for my phone so that I can move it better, and I need to clean up in here. I mean, part of the reason for this particular setup is, this room is totally trashed. And I don't want you all to see that. And it's like, people say, why are your walls so dirty? It's like, I think my cats peed on the wall before they knocked down my damn shelves. So what I have to do to clean that up is I have to go literally get a mop, pull everything off the desk, mop down the frickin' walls, and I have to use the right solvents to break up the urine because they're marking the walls. And that cat musk, man, that is crazy stuff. They peed on my Chromebook. Like, one of the cats, like, that was just his spot, you know? And I didn't know, so I brought it to work, and I pull it out, and it's like, it was covered in wax, you know? And it didn't even smell like urine, but it had a distinctive musk to it. And I had to sit there and go to the restroom and get soap and, like, rub it down. And you can't just wash a Chromebook. Patricio, I'm not a cannibal, but I toss salad. Tube in India, where Pakistan outbreak in Kashmir, India. Andy Prin, greetings from Germany. What's up, brother? VM, Tristan, stop being a doggone dingus and go to sleep. Yeah. Mental Wi-Fi. Yo, I got you there, though, brother. Yeah. Megatron, how are two things you can never eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? What are two things you can never eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Yeah, but at school we used to have something that was breakfast for lunch. It was French toast. Sachi, but you're doing great. No, I'm not. Vic Chavez, you have a DJ voice. I certainly do have a DJ voice. Got some more rockin' tunes for you, buddies and gals. Kisio, I only toss salad that has been washed, though, but I chow down 100%. Calprince, brunch. Lema Findley, candy and edible paper money. Yeah, you can have those for breakfast. Sachi, in India, street food sellers wash their plates from water in sewers and pools of water on the ground. Damn, unhygienic. Yeah. I mean, look, Sachi, I don't know if you're familiar with the Take the Poo to the Loo program in India, but, you know, the Indian government actually released a music video um, encouraging the population to use toilets because them crapping on the ground really hurt the tourist trade. Ugh. There's a
2020 was not a year that we were expecting at all.
Things were breaking down, right? COVID.
We had sold our home and we embarked on kind of.
Okay, so in case you can't see, these are animated poop emojis. Calprince, Ganges River. Megatron, what would you attempt if you knew you couldn't fail? I build a perpetual motion machine.
What do I see? A pile of shit staring at me. I close my eyes, I step away. No matter what I do, there's no getting away.
This is Indian music video encouraging people to use toilets. I'm not kidding. This is a thing. Look it up. Calprints. They look like peppermint kisses. But they don't taste like them.
I step away, but everywhere I go, there's no getting away.
Dear Tube, I'm very concerned that can yes please tell me what the time right there. I am from a different country. It is about 10 o'clock. Vic Chavez. Miggle or whatever your name is. Breakfast. Okay. Megatron, bro, are you racist? No. This is a thing. Alright, so I don't speak that language, so we're gonna... Patricio, I love Big Brown Lund. Sachi, geez, I didn't know, probably the uncleanest nation. No, I mean, look, there are much worse places than India is a big place. So it's a great, wonderful, and diverse place. In fact, I was securing for a party that was hosting people from India. I saw the most beautiful Indian girl. She had this dress that looked like she was made of clouds. I swear to God, the jinn were envying the natural world that night. And, you know, the Indians, people from India are a wonderful culture. They're a beautiful culture, but you do have to understand that all cultures come from somewhere, and toilets are not, like, natural. There are no, like, nature doesn't just hand us toilets, so we have to build those. And India, being a very large nation, you know, they don't have the same traditions as us. So that's their culture, you know. They believe in the old faith that running water is sanitary because bacteria can't grow in it. So, you know, that's how they've been raised. It's been working out for them. There's a lot of wonderful things about India. There's a lot of terrible things about India, like every country. So they had this program to increase the desire for sanitation because sanitation is expensive. Vic Chavez, or soft serve ice cream, it Dan. Eh. Surprising how many of our food sources look like poo. Schmidt. Read that one. Vic Chavez, they're filthy over there, are they? I mean, you know, some places I'm sure are very westernized. Megatron, I'm not even Indian, but that's really mad goofy, brah. You know, you can't judge people. Like, once again, I'm sure if you go to most Indian hotels, they have full service plumbing, but it's like, I remember when I was trying to learn Spanish, one of the things they had was a unit where somebody said, you know, how much for a hotel room? And it's like, so much. It's like 10 pesos, we'll say. And it's like, does it come with a toilet? It says, no, just a wash basin. It's like, hotels didn't have toilets. And it's like, where is the toilet? At the end of the hall. So it's like, you know, at the middle of the night, you had to wake up, get out of your room, go to the toilet. And that was a thing, you know. Not all hotels in Mexico had toilets. I don't know if that's still a thing. It probably is in some places, but you know. Vic Chavez, Brazil probably just as dirty. I don't know. I mean, in rural landscapes, sanitation often fails. Propicio, Brazilians to a Corojolia. Vic Chavez, hygiene is a must. Calprints, You know, half of YouTube staff are Indian descent. I was not aware of that. Sachi, I agree, Richard. Their culture is wonderful with festives like Diwali. Again, not terribly familiar with that. Look, I am not as worldly as I'd like to be, and it's impossible to know every culture, but yeah. India, a lot of wonderful things there, but I mean, every nation has its ups and downs. Maximus Meridius, what? Watch Pooping in India. It's a good documentary. Um, I think I have. Is that the one where the chick took the single hair and put it on the poop, then put it in the water and dared everybody to drink it? Because I mean, I remember that sounds familiar. Dustin, you might just have to take a good shh. Mm, I don't know. Yeah. No. VM. Because that's the only time your mom is available to shower with him, Grasshopper. What are you? I don't know that reference, VM. Marcus Meridius. I never understood. If it's too beautiful, we leave. Mm. Oh, I never understood. If it's so beautiful, why leave? India or Mexico? I mean, look. Just because something's beautiful doesn't make it good. The area around Pripyat, which is the town surrounding the Chernobyl reactor, I'm told is quite beautiful now. Radioactive and it'll kill you, but quite beautiful. Dustin, you good? Nah, Dusty. I mean, not a lot of people watching today. It's actually a pretty poor turnout, and Mukos. Like I say, bro, I'm right at that threshold. Mucho español. Sachi, I have been to Germany twice. They have the perfect washrooms there. Um, Germany has those like poop inspection toilets, don't they? Grasshopper Plus, hey, what's to hang it up? Or he wants to hang it up. Vic Chavez, what do you usually talk about? These streams go wherever they go. In my videos, I have my Battle with Beelzebub series, which is about me cleaning my house, and I have my philosophy videos are the current thing. IBB, hi Richard, I am busy cooking and watching your live. Pay attention to your cooking, you might get hurt. Vic Chavez, Poopenheimer! What do you think, Wolfie? You think you're Wolfie? Yes, yes. Oh, Wolfie's going, yes. Right there. That's the spot. Oh, right there. Right there. Oh, you got a booger. Hold on. No, no, you got a booger. You got a booger. Let me get that booger. You got a flea. You gotta get them boogers before they get you. With this many cats, it's really hard to keep the fleas down. Calprince, how many hours left from total monetization? Oh, let me check. Okay, these things update once a day, and they're a week behind. So let's go to studio, let's go to monetization. Okay, so this is my monetization tab. And you can see eligibility here. It says, why is this not moving? It says 1,000 subscribers, which I have, and one of the following 10 million valid public short views in 90 days, or 4,000 watch hours in 365 days. So I have 3,645 watch hours. Right? That is of the 20th. Okay. So let's go to analytics. I'm going to set this to 7 days. All right. So here is the 20th. I had 39.4 watch hours. Okay. And then you have the 20th, the 21st, here's 117, and the 22nd, it's 87. So we're doing really good. All right. So long as that number stays above 10, we're making progress generally. But do understand, like, let's set this to 1 year. Okay. So there's 1 year. And if you look at the graph, I know you guys can't really see it, but if you look at the graph, it peaks out up here. Down here, it's very low. Okay, like on the 26th, 1 year ago, I had 2 watch hours. So that means when the clock ticks over to tomorrow on the server, I lose 2 watch hours because that day is no longer counted, but I gain so many watch hours. So yeah, I mean, on the one hand, it's ticking down, but it's ticking up. So I need to keep that number above 10. But I mean, it's like I don't want to have that one day where it's like you're 1 hour away from monetization, because once you pass that goal, you submit an application. I believe this one may even be pre-submitted, but once you pass that goal, you submit an application, and then it gets evaluated. And once it's evaluated, they give you money, and they could brain fart. My cats are destroying things. They could brain fart and not give you monetization for some reason or other. So that's why this is so important. Dustin, that's cool. I watch a handful of people live streaming. Yeah, Megatron, bro. All I see is just small pee-pee energy. Why are you looking at pee-pees? Grasshopper Plus. He hasn't seen his pee-pee in months. Yeah, well, your mom saw it yesterday. Dustin, just like a handful of people, you are one of them. Eh. Megatron, lol. Cal Prince. 355 hours left. Yeah. But that was understand that there's a 7-day gap. Okay. So what we're looking at is what my numbers were 7 days ago. It will take 7 days for any watch hours to show up. And then once they do, then they're counted. So I could have breached already. It's possible. But I don't know. So I've got that flying blind, that I have to take care of. Dustin on live stream. James PS4. Richard, what is your SSN? Yeah, your mom. Grasshopper Plus. I'm not helping no more. I'm gone. Good. Cal Prince. You may have 100 hours left after this week. Yeah. IDs. Hi, Adichie. Yeah, like I say, guys, you know, going this far, it's been years I've been on YouTube, and I think what happened was that YouTube saw a lot of creators just stopped creating because the economy's bad, it's expensive to create, and I started getting comments on my videos. It's like, this is old school YouTube, just one guy talking, things like that. So it's like, on the one hand, I could make an extra dollar today if I did my YouTube shorts for Random Street Theater, because it is monetized and it's not making a lot of money, but it's monetized. I haven't been doing live streams on it because it's just not something I'm tooled for. And it's like, yeah, I could come up with monetization tools, uh, but I have work, and my work is very irregular. Typically speaking, what I've been doing is I come home from work and I live stream for an hour, and that's been getting me closer and closer to monetization. And the more you guys show up, the more important that's become. Now, I'm sure there are prime times for live streaming, but I'll be at work during those times, and I can't live stream at work. There's no way. Like, I should ask my boss for permission, and then once I get that permission, Sachi, Grasshopper Plus, that's not nice, jackass Grasshopper. Anyway, so I should ask for permission and take my lunch break, which is half an hour. And then stream for half an hour during my lunch break. But it's like, um, there are a lot of issues with that. Now at my second job, if I'm actually working, if they're actually giving me hours, I have to clock out for lunch. Okay, they're going to force me to do that. So I can take my meal when I'm working, and I can spend that half hour clocked out talking to you guys. But again, I'm in uniform. I have to cover up the uniform somehow, and just if someone shows up, I have to stop my lunch. But I'm relying on my cell phone exclusively, as opposed to here, where I'm relying on Wi-Fi. It's just one of those things. Megatron, bro, are you a prince? I don't know what you mean. VM, what's that supposed to mean, Megatron? Yeah, dude. You a prince? No. I think I'm the pauper. It's enough to make kings, and Disney is going to sue you. Some people will rob their mama for the ends. Cal Prince, did you grieve over the Pope? No. No. It is hard for me to grieve at all. I've seen so much pain. I didn't know the Pope. somewhere right now an old man is passing. It's a tragedy, but it is life. Oh. VM, Megatron is just mad because he's Indian and you explained him the reality of a densely populated third world country. Um, okay. Look, I didn't create the program, this is the world. Megatron, buddy, everything you said was correct, except I'm not Indian, just trying to be kind to others. Megatron, you know, that video was designed to help the people of India gain proper sanitation. All right? And we all deserve hygiene. We all deserve um, a stable, safe way of life. And I mean, yes, on the one hand, the Indian government is like, this sanitation situation is causing us pain. It's causing us pain that we're not getting the same numbers we would from tourism, and tourism is a big thing in India. And on the other hand, I mean, look, I'm not the one that created that. It's just a thing that exists, and I was bringing it up to illustrate a point. VM, you literally insulted Richard multiple times. White him, kind to others, lame. VM, if he wants to insult me, he's not alone. If I offended you, dude, I'm sorry. It was not my intention. Facts can be offensive. I used to know a Bulgarian, and everybody hated him for some reason. Megatron, because he made racial jokes. That's why. What are you talking about, racial jokes? Megatron, I have no idea. I mean, you've misconstrued something. I'm really sure. But anyway, so I used to know a Bulgarian, and he was a ex-military, ex-Bulgarian military. I don't know why he was in the United States, but and he would tell me stories about Bulgaria. Like in World War II, they sent African soldiers to Bulgaria, and the Bulgarians soldiers had never seen black people before. So they reported back to their supervisors. They're like, they're animals in uniform. We don't know what we're looking at. Should we shoot them? And the superior's order was, if they shoot at you, shoot at them. Sounds pretty racist, but I mean, it's like, yeah, a lot of them didn't know what black people looked like. Sachi, Megatron, oh, so dramatic. You should be hired by Steven Spielberg. Once again, dude, if you want to be upset, there's nothing we can do about that. Calprince, you don't go to India on vacation. My friend said that it was more of a spiritual journey or experience. Um, I've had a lot of people from India come on my live, be like, "Go to India, come to India," and you know, um, the Beatles really liked India. James PS4, Rich is so racist. Oh, I haven't heard that before. A lot of people have called me a racist. Mostly people who don't know me. Sanchi, call it racist or whatever the ish you want. Everybody got a consensus. Conscience? Not sure I'm reading that right. Dyslexia.
Conscience.
Conscience. Okay, yeah. I'm reading conscience. That's where my brain goes. Alright, guys, so we're at the hour. Things are slowing down. Only 10 people watching now. I'll see y'all later. I'm Richard.